There you go, people. 230,000 miles. There you have it. Not a whole lot to say. Not much new to report, except for the heat is really rough on the vehicle. But this is it. 231,000 miles. Last transmission fluid and filter change took place at 202,000 miles. At 100 and just shy of 100, I think it was 187,000. Let's just say 188,000. You can watch the other videos if you want to know. But just before hitting 188,000, I drained the fluid and the filter, changed the filter, and I did not add any more transmission additives whatsoever. I just went without it and did it again at 202,000 miles, and now here we are. All right, guys, here's another update video. So I was going to do an update at 230,000 miles, but now I am here at 231,465.6 miles. I'm outside of the tax commissioner's office, just picked up the registration for this vehicle without any issue. I don't know how people do this in other states, but here in Georgia, I just want to give you guys a public service announcement and a friendly reminder that you can go ahead and get your emissions test within 12 months of renewing your tag, and it will be ready for you. So if you are one of those people who is like myself and you have found yourself, if you're one of those people who has luck like me and you go and do this right here, right before going in to get your registration, sometimes you will find that you have a check engine light on your vehicle and then you won't be able to renew your registration, and that is a real drag. This has happened to me so many times that I can't even count. Now, with the technology we have, I use the Blue Driver, which I've shown you guys in other videos. You can check it out anytime. There's a link in the description below if you want to pick one up. I love my Blue Driver. It has helped me with so many issues, and it's also helped me to keep mechanics and service departments at various dealerships honest, you know? So I think it's worth having, but I have a lot less headaches now because generally at the beginning of every year. So basically I'll go do my emissions, get my registration, and then I will go right back the next month, even, you know, as early as the next month, and I'll just go on and get the emissions test again, and it lasts me. Now, the guys at the emissions test, they'll tell you that it only lasts you 90 days, but that's not true, because I just went in here and renewed this tag, and I got my emissions test back in, it's July right now. I think today's July 10th, and I got it back in, I'm pretty sure it was first or second week of January of this year. So that's about 7 months right there. But I've done it where I've just gone right back in the following month and just gotten the emissions test. That way you don't have to worry about it, because then otherwise you'll have to go and get a waiver. Anyway, you guys didn't want to hear all this stuff. As far as the transmission, here's my report. Just before hitting 188,000 miles, I drained the fluid and changed the filter with this transmission. No one else wanted to do it except for this one guy who knows these vehicles really well. And he made it a point to tell me that he wasn't 100% sure it would work, but he said that I needed to do this in order to move forward, because he says the Band-Aid that was being supplied by the instant shutter fix wasn't going to last forever, which we already knew that. I was having a lot of issues. The issue returned 14,000 miles later, as you can see in all my other videos, but I'm giving you guys this recap so that you don't have to go and click on other videos. Anyway, 14,000 miles later, the shutter returned. Did not put instant shutter fix back in the transmission. Instead, I went and drained and refilled it again and changed the filter again. This has been lasting me now since 202,000 miles. Wanted to do this update at 232,000 miles. That way it would be an even 30,000 miles since doing the last drain and refill. That's it. Once again, I will say that with the temperatures that we were experiencing here in Georgia, when we were running up in the triple digits and it was getting super hot and we were having a bit of a drought, this vehicle was struggling. And when I say it was struggling, it wasn't that it was necessarily slipping or anything like that. It just felt like it was really struggling with the heat. Also, I'm way overdue for a tune-up, so I'm gonna go on and go get some new plugs. I won't be changing out the ignition coils like I did last time. So just a basic tune-up. I'll just swap out the spark plugs. I think that'll help it too, to run a little bit smoother. But right now, it's 74 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's running fine. But once it gets up into the 90s, it's 95 degrees, it's 97, it's 103. Then it starts to act a little like, ugh, and the fans run a lot. And they had a big recall that was all over the news for these Lincoln Navigators and the Ford Expeditions, saying that you need to replace the fans because they were catching fire. Well, I took the vehicle into the dealership. They looked it over. He said, you don't need the fans. I'm like, are you sure? Because I have a letter. He said, look, if we can do it, we're going to do it because it's going to benefit us to replace it. But he says, but you need new blower motor for your air conditioner and all this other stuff, which I wasn't having a problem with, but they went and switched all that out and fixed some actuator that was in there. So anyway, I didn't even know there was a problem there, but they did that. Finally, I have this decent rapport with a dealership for once. Right now, I'm working with a service advisor there, and I've been handling all the things that need to be handled with this Lincoln Navigator over there because ultimately, as I've said in the other videos, you're gonna have to take these things in to the dealership. They have some kind of little system thing going now with the computer, and they have to plug it up to their computer. You can take it to a specialist all you want, you're never gonna get the same results. So that's it for this update. I hope you guys had a great 4th of July, if that's what you celebrate, or any other holidays this month. Over and out.